Okay, we are live.
What title I do add?
Title is
Future.
No Bridge Future Map. I'll send it
Okay.
to you.
Okay,
Give me
that's
a
fine.
second. Shashi, WhatsApp. Okay, got it. Send it to you, Shashi. Binance किधर गया? Okay, great. We are live. Uh, let's just quickly take this moment to share it in our groups with our people so that we can have more guys coming and watching us. You could share from wherever you are watching us. You could share from Binance. You could share it on YouTube, whatever works for you. Okay, let's get this stream started. Good to see Sashi, a very old friend and a very dear friend. We haven't been able to catch up after his visit to Miami. Tell us what controversy went down in Miami. Were you at that 11 event?
No, I was not.
Okay.
I think the
Can you hear the disappointed the disappointment in his voice? No, I was not.
no, no, no. There is no disappointment at all. But I don't have a view on that, to be honest. Uh, for me, I was uh, I was too tired and jet lagged, so I used to end my day roughly around 8 9 p.m. Every day because that's what and I had calls early in the morning around 2 to 3 a.m. to catch up with my team in Asia and some other potential LPs and whatnot. So I had to go to bed early. So yeah, but I have been party to all those conversations before and after of E11, of course, in the circles that we are in, and yeah, it's an interesting thing. It was wild to see that the official event was also hosted there, but yeah.
Okay, for the guys who are watching us, perhaps don't know what is 11. 11 is one of the biggest strip clubs in Miami, and my very good friends Toby and Brent held their after party, the official after party in that venue. But then let me tell you this: this wasn't the first crypto event happening there. This wasn't the first consensus event happening there. It's a pretty regular venue because it can actually accommodate
Yeah,
many people. But then somehow the media picked up because a lot of people were not able to enter, like always in a TBV event, and things kind of blew out of proportion because there were, I believe, about 7,000 people standing outside to get in. This we have seen this in Singapore also, couple of years ago, or even last year at Marquee, where the queue is huge. Like if you were ever in MBS, you would see huge lines uh, trying to get into Marquee for a TBV event. They are known to bring in massive crowd, and with massive crowd comes a massive opportunity of controversies too. So, and I'm all for TBV, not just that they are friends, because that's what the culture of Web3 has been. So you can't just single out one event. You'll have to, like, blame all of us for it. And of course, the guy pissing at the at after party, that is not allowed. He should actually be banned from any crypto event or any event in his life. Like, he shouldn't be allowed to go to any event in his life if he cannot handle alcohol. Shashi, so you have worked with ICP earlier, but then tell me, what are you doing now? What is Not Alone VC? Uh, Give us a bit of background around it.
So before that, on the E11 thing, people only know about this party, but on E11 there was almost every day there were parties happening. Somebody or the other was hosting. So just for the record, for people to know,
Thank
it's
you.
a choice
Thank
that everybody makes whom to join, and I think it's an individual choice. Nobody is forcing anybody, so there's no need for moral policing for anyone. It's not like any everybody is adult and is free to exercise their right as well as long as it's all legal. So yeah, and I chose to stay back at my hotel, and that's my right.
I don't know whether to believe that or not, but then we
No,
will
no,
buy
you can check with. We
what
have
you
common friends. We have common friends, so you can check always that. What is the thing? But anyway, coming back, and I know a lot of people who went there, but yeah, not naming anybody. But coming back, uh, uh, so the journey has been very natural for us, right? So after my New Year days, I was actually thinking of working on something similar, where the see what we have seen in Web3 is, and you know my background, I'm deeply involved into orchestrating big adoption programs for L1s over the last 5 years, and I've worked at two major L1s, ICP and Near, for this, right? And um, my belief always has been that, and not only, and it kept getting stronger after so many projects that I have been involved in launch across different verticals. You name the vertical, whether it is DeFi, ReFi, or any kind of DeFi or any kind of GameFi or any of these, right? I've been involved with all of that, from idea to launch, and beyond. So what I have been seeing is inherently there are two to three things, right? First of all, the VC model itself, the crypto VC model is very broken. And I will take this is slightly a longer um, unpacking that I'm trying to do. So one area that I saw was the VC model itself. Um, uh, and so ideally, what I'm seeing is good projects don't get good VCs don't get good projects, and it's a continuous cycle of pain, and every time somebody has to lose for somebody to win, and crypto doesn't need to be a zero sum game. The second thing that I saw was all these accelerators and everything, and I was part of running one of the first probably protocol own accelerator in web3 back in 2021 2022 when I was at Near. That time it was called Near certified entrepreneur or something like that. And that time people were not talking about protocol down accelerators. Now you see each protocol is running accelerators, because my past background, I have seen that if you really work with entrepreneurs who are, or at least devpreneurs, you will be able to scale this up. So what I was seeing is accelerators are not helping, because founder doesn't need to be made part of 10 Telegram groups that you're introducing them to, and 10 advisors that are there. Founder needs hands on the deck, people who can do things for them in Web3, because the space of Web3 moves very fast. So you need more hands on the deck. So accelerators normally don't solve that. And protocol ecosystems also are generally not designed in a way to do that. So what we at Not Alone said, there is a problem. Most of the crypto funds that are running VCs are losing money for investors, most of them, right? And most of them focus on, I'm sorry to say this, but focus on increasing the AUM rather than increasing the investment return on the investment, because AUM pays their bills and everything. And I don't need to name anybody, but Vaibhavv and Sarah, you have been in the industry for a long time, you know so many of them. And that's why none of them now people are either giving money to very tier one VCs in crypto, or are not giving money at all. Those smaller funds, 100 million and below, is almost like finding it very hard to raise any capital, right? And the reason for that is you're not protecting your LP's capital. You are not protecting, you are not deploying it responsibly. And it's also not their fault. Most of these VCs don't have a proper pipeline for deal flow. Their pipeline is Telegram groups and some random people that they meet at events. So, and we saw that our strength is over 5 years, we have built huge pipelines. So in short, what Not Alone we see is we are an upcoming fund. We want to be a $50 million fund with two vintages of 25, 25. Uh, the idea is that we don't charge LPs management fees. Plus, we only take the carry. Plus, uh, we are only a 3-year fund, because in crypto it doesn't make sense to make like a 5-year or 7-year fund. On the project side, we only invest in founders who are first degree connections and second degree connections, so that we know. And the fund is 70% liquid, 30% venture. And the last thing there is, we say we are a multi-capital fund. What it means is money is just one form of capital. Uh, what we do also is we help you build your team. And this is not by connecting you with some people. We help you build your tech. This is not like, okay, here is 2 teams that can help you. This is all hands-on work, like a running mate to a project. We help you get distribution, because we have huge distribution networks. We help you launch your token, list your token, help you build your treasury, everything, whatever is legally possible, we do it. And and because we do so much, so these projects and good projects who have raised tens of millions of dollars from good VCs are still ready to bring us on cap table, a new fund, at almost 50% discount of the current round, almost 50% lesser lockup and all of that, because we are adding so much value. So it's like, imagine like Shashi is just giving money, but Vaibhavv and Sarah comes and gives so many things. So of course you will, because that capital is just not capital. So that's the idea of Not Alone, and that's the name. You as a founder is not alone. You as a LP is not alone. We are the bridge between both of them, and we responsibly deploy capital. Right today, also I tweeted about it. You saw this Anthropic IPO thing. There were so many people coming to us with secondaries for over past 3-4 months. We have a simple rule. We either directly source it through the team, or if there is a secondary, says Sarah has some allocation and she is trying to give it to us, we will verify with the parent company saying, hey, we are getting this allocation. Does this violate any of your terms? Will you honor this? Get it in writing and then take it. So, Not Alone is not about FOMO investing. A lot of crypto VCs FOMO, and they say, "Oh, a big investor invested, we'll also invest." Doesn't matter who invested, no matter who you are. In crypto, if your deal terms are not good and your liquidation cycle is not good, you are going to get screwed. There is no better way to say this.
Very well said, yeah, because some time ago we had Sagar on the show. Uh,
Very good friend. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and I think Sagar really spoke his uh, mind, and he said that we are messing up in so many different places in the space that we are in, and he actually spoke a lot of sense, because he's saying that why are we looking at token launches, because a lot of projects don't even need a token. Why are they tokens? And if tokens is the actual route, then why is Kraken, why is Coinbase not looking to start their own token but getting into the IPO space? And he had absolute good reasons to say this. But then do you also believe the same, or do you have a different take on this?
See, I will tell you, like how we have a tech trilemma in blockchain, right? Between scalability, decentralization, and security. There is a similar trilemma, and this is after 5 years of working deeply in adoption with multiple teams. There is a similar trilemma that exists in blockchain adoption, that is between token, tech, and investment. Most of the projects will only have two. Founders feel, see, there is two parts. One is your project really needs token, that's one. And your, even if your project doesn't need token, you can still have token, because that's like saying like, I don't agree with my project doesn't need token, because it's saying like my project doesn't need a stock IPO, or my project doesn't need stocks. So I don't subscribe to that thing that my project doesn't need token. there can be two types of token need. One can be just for liquidity and stakeholder engagement. That is simple. And some can be that the product already have uses utility of the token. And both are fine. To me, both are fine. As long as you can own a Ferrari if you know how to drive it. That's simple. And most of the people don't know how to run the token. For people, running a token means find two to three top tier exchange, right? Whether by paying or whether by qualifying, however you want to, and then find some good market makers, and you don't understand how market makers work, and then just launch the token, and they think that the token work is done. Actually, the token work starts after you launch the token, not before. So all the founders will work before and then come to the token thing later. And also the founders mistake that they do after, they are always optimizing for sell pressure. You should optimize for buy pressure. How do you get more eyeballs to your token in a legal way? I will always say whatever I say by default, I'm meaning everything legal. The market makers that you choose, you shouldn't be asking. Normally market makers are chosen based on, oh, I built this much treasury. Most people also don't think about treasury, but oh, we know these many exchanges and all. Market makers core role is, you should ask one question to the market maker: how many BD team members you have and how many traders you have. The role of market maker is to make you money by trading your token, providing liquidity and spread, and they should know it. The role of market maker is not to do scam pump and all. Hey, Shalini.
Hello. I had a little bit of a crisis, so I'm so sorry. Just like firefighting at the moment. So nice to meet
No,
all
no.
of you.
Good to see you again.
Well, Shalini.
Nice to see you guys.
Yeah.
Shalini,
So
Shalini Wood. How is Shalini Woods doing?
Very well. Always happy to see you, so much energy. Like Wali brings great energy to anything he does. It's so amazing.
Thank you, thank you. It's good to have all you guys over here. We have Shalini from X. Now she's ex Babylon. We have Shashi ex Nia, ex ICP. We have Sarah, my ex girlfriend, now wife. So we have a lot of exes over here going on. But then we were talking to Shashi. He has founded his own VC firm. And Shashi, you said that you are not charging your LPs management fee. How are you running your shop, bro? That 2% is a lot of money, but then you are choosing not to use that 2%.
yeah,
Reminds me of
because we are funding it from our own pocket.
is that scalable? Now
Yeah,
you tell me, is that scalable?
it's a scalable, right? Because you as a GP will anyway put money into the fund, which will be few $1 million. Rather, you run the operations over a period of time, and use LP's money just to take it from there. But yeah, that's the idea. It's scalable. It's we are taking all the burn cost on our side, all the expenses, all the team expenses, and that's fine.
Great. Sh- Shalini, tell me what new have you been up to? I didn't ask you what have you been up to in our chat because I wanted to know live. What have you been doing in your day to day other than listening to really sad old Hindi songs?
Those old Hindi songs is only with you, Wali. That's not with anybody else. But what I'm busy doing is I have founded Signal Labs with my business partner Ari Julka. He's out of Howard Business School. He's an LP in multiple funds like Six Man, Pump Fund, so many other funds that he's been an LP for, an advisor and a very successful entrepreneur. And Signal Labs is about accelerating Web3 projects. Our first client is a Nasdaq listed company that is making their entry into Web3. So we are giving them the full strategy, the full roadmap, how to get into the space. That's quite a big one. We have an NDA, so we cannot share the name with that. We also basically, both of us took majority equity in a very amazing protocol a gaming protocol that we are pivoting into the AI space. We're going to be announcing that on Thursday, so I cannot share the name as yet, but I'm a board member and a core contributor for that. And we're looking at some other M&As in the space as well. So I'm the founding partner for Signal Labs.
Very nice.
Congratulations. I have another
Congratulations.
question, but I cannot share that. So you'll have to figure it out yourself.
Yes, yes, yes. We will definitely collaborate and work together.
Great.
Yeah.
So, Shalini and Shashi, sir, I'm sorry. I know you haven't spoken in this stream, but then my quick question
I have too
to
much
both
noise
of you.
behind, but yes, you go ahead.
Okay. No, so I was just asking Shalini, Sara, and Shashi. Wow, there are three S's on the live stream right now. But tell me that I didn't know that even you pivoted into venture capital. So this is great. What is the biggest, or rather, first let's talk about from being on chain, that from being the CMO of Babylon, and Shashi, being in ICP. I've seen Shashi how close he was to the founder, and there, back in the day, if I personally had any favorite team inside and L1 was ICP, because I think the bond that the team members had, or I'm sure they still have, was unbelievable. Because I think I've spent time with the entire team in Hong Kong, in Singapore, in Bali, and couple of other countries that I can't recollect. I was the only guy who was not a part of the team, but still hanging out with the entire team, going out for late night pizzas and stuff. But then, what happened to the entire team, Sashi? Tell us, tell me that. Why did the entire team just disperse? I'm sad to see that, but from an outsider. But then you would tell me, like, what went down?
No, it's just the space is growing and everybody finds their ways of growing in the career, and that's
भाई क्रिप्टो
basically
वॉलेट
it.
पर कसम खा के बोल, जो बोलूंगा सच सच बोलूंगा, सच के सिवा कुछ नहीं
I always
बोलूंगा.
say, sab sach bol raha hu. There is nothing around that. So people have and all of them have gone to do multiple things on their own. Some of them have taken family breaks, personal breaks, or paternity, maternity breaks. All of that has happened. So it's like it was a good team, and there are some people still there and driving it. So it's not like everybody has left. So it's all. I left last year January, end of Jan, and then we spent some time on the ground for 2 to 3 months, and then we kicked this off. So
Who
yeah.
else? Who else remains now? Lomesh, Milan. I don't know. I haven't spoken to them.
I
Milan
think there
left
are a couple of
last year,
folks.
August, I guess.
Yeah. So I'm there are a couple of folks, of course, there. I'm sure. I
I'm
haven't
sure.
been in touch. No, no.
Okay.
There, the space is
Evolve.
really growing very different because AI is there. So a couple of folks also want to go in AI. So there are multiple areas, and this is normal. I don't find it anything extraordinary that needs to be a mention here. It's a normal. This is very okay that in Web3, every 2 to 3 years the team changes and things move on. I'm sure Shalini will have similar experiences in working in protocol. So this is
Yeah.
fairly normal.
Yeah, but then I want Shalini to bring her old self back. Of if you remember the conversation that we had in Abu Dhabi during Bitcoin Mina, I need that energy. Tell me what's happening. Like with L1s, and what is, like, how will your experience been? Because you did some amazing launches. I was lucky enough for you to show it to me, like, in person, your campaigns, and how amazingly well it was doing. फिर क्या हुआ?
What do you mean, fir kya hua?
Like,
they, were, they were all
what
good.
are,
They were very successful, and now I'm doing some other things.
yes, yes, yeah. See,
Yeah.
because when you want a founder to be associated with a project for 10 years, right? As VCs, you all look at that, for how long is the founder going to be associated with a project. I think, I personally believe that also your team members, for how long they're associated with your team, also speaks volumes about your project. So I would
It's
like to know
extremely
how was your
amazing.
journey and why did you move out?
My journey was absolutely amazing. I think Babylon founders are phenomenal. And I always tell people, like, you're not known by your entries, but you're known by your exits. I have such good relationships with every single founder I work with. I work for almost 3 years, which is quite long in a blockchain space. It's like doing 3 decades in a company, right? So that's long. And I also felt like, I needed a little bit time to rewind, relax, spend some time with family, and then also do something of my own and be a little bit more entrepreneurial. Because I think when you work in a startup, you really realize you are more than what you do. Your contributions span not just one aspect of the business, but multi. You're doing BD, you're doing relationships, you're doing commercials, you're doing marketing, branding. When I worked in bigger companies like Honeywell, these are like Fortune 100s, you did just one function and that was it. So the learning curve here is a lot, and that really inspires you that I can be an entrepreneur myself. And I'm very happy because now I have my own company set up. We're doing some amazing things there as well. So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
No, it of course does.
It, it disappoints him, knowing him. He was thinking there will be something that comes out and this clips goes viral. But yeah, well, sorry, this is the truth. Can't do
No, but
anything much.
really, honestly, like, I
Yeah,
genuinely have really good exits with every single founder company I work with. So yeah, I think your
yeah,
reputation goes on for long.
exactly.
Very,
See,
very
but
well. Sarah, do you have any questions?
But he was literally he was waiting for spice from Shalini, but there was no spice, but there was a
yeah,
little bit of seasoning of oregano.
How boring, both of you.
No, no, I'm
yeah.
very happy, that, also I've made a project so successful, so many projects. And now I want to put the same energy I put for other things on my own, right? And that is so powerful. And that confidence you can only get when you work with very high caliber founders,
True.
because you see their energy, you see how passionate they are. And I've learned so much from the Babylon founders. I can do things. Myself, it gives you a lot of confidence because you see a scale up from a zero to $1 billion. That is amazing, and that gives you belief system in that you can do so much more. Yeah.
So, Vali, story is neither I have a drama that led to the exit, or neither Salini had. We were
Who knows,
very
man?
good,
Who knows? Who
fortunate to fortunate to work with good founders. No, no. Personally, I also see the ICP founder very like after so many years still in the project. He is still putting so much, and I have had the opportunity to work very closely with him, and he is very passionate. It's almost like the first day of starting this company every day. People have different perceptions of people outside, but when you work with people, you know how they are and how much they are doing, right? And running these startups, especially in crypto, is not easy. We are also now a founder, of course, not still at that scale that these founders are, but we are just starting off. And I think Shalini will also be having same experience. There is like everybody can leave, but you can't as a founder, and you have to push it every day. So yeah.
So getting back to the life, amazing stories and exits. So I just wanted to ask and know from Shashi and Shalini that one of crypto's biggest weaknesses is fragmented liquidity. So how does removing traditional bridges help unify liquidity across different ecosystems? Shalini, we'll start with you.
So I'm not very technical. So for me, I think the best way would be a normal scenario where crypto or blockchain should move in the direction where it becomes indispensable, almost like electricity, where the user does not even know what's happening, right? You switch on the button and it works. So blockchain needs to be an infrastructure which is in the back. I switch my button and I get Wi-Fi. How? That's not my problem. So for me, that is the user interface I see. And for an adoption, a mass adoption for any technology, ease of use is very important. So I would like all of those things to be handled in the back end. From a user perspective, it should be seamless, invisible, like how I'm moving that in the back should not be the user's problem. So I think that is where, Shashi, you need to unpack like how would that work from a front end perspective. It should be click click, I should not know what's happening in the back, right?
Shalini,
So
absolutely right. Sorry, Shashi. In my all my talks around the world, I've always said that the user doesn't give a damn if you're, if he's working on, on a blockchain or on React JS. He just wants convenience and ease of doing task. Sorry, Shashi, go ahead.
yeah, so I think bridges is a very important thing, and I have been telling it for 3 years now on every forum that this is something that can bring blockchain down and also make blockchain fly. It can go both. And you recently saw what happened with the hack that happened due to layer zero and whatnot, right? I think so. In the scale, like in the Broxer dilemma thing between decentralization, scalability, and security, when it comes to bridges, security has to be the first thing that people should look at. What has started happening over a period of time, and I'm talking about 5 years of experience, I have used almost every bridge in the space. I've been part of building some of the great bridges that the team shipped. And I think custodial bridges are fine if you can do it. There are two things that I'm going to cover: how to deal with bridges as a user, even if it is unsecure. What should you do? And second is right now, based on the technology we have, what technology makes the very secure bridge. So first, let's say you are using any bridge and you are a user, right? The first thing that you have to do is always trade in native assets. So at least on one end, say for example, I'm using and there are some bridges just do stablecoin. So it's always good to do stablecoin on both sides. So imagine USDT from Ethereum to Solana will be native USDT on both sides. So that solves your problem. But if you cannot do that, then say imagine you are taking BTC across a bridge and making it into WBTC. Or let's take example of this entire hack that happened. So if you once you switch, say for example, I used BTC to come to wrapped BTC, it's better to switch to something, a native token of that chain, rather than holding wrapped assets. So if you want to hold BTC, the best way is to hold it uh, and I'm not saying I know Shalini is here, Babylon has a BTC L2 and all of that, but most of those are still wrapped, right? It comes with trade-offs. All of the wrapped versions comes with trade-offs. So if you cannot hold holding native assets is the best. Then you never get hacked. Imagine it's the same thing, right? RS ETH versus ETH. ETH pools were not touched on Aave, right? So that's one thing. Then the second thing that now let's talk about the tech itself, right? So right now there are three types of bridging normally that are happening in the space. One is where it's a custodial bridge. I give my money to Wali, and Wali's partner is Shalini, who is sitting on the other chain. So Wali sends this token to Shalini. Shalini gives me a wrapped asset there, which is there, right? So this is like all the assets, like a centralized issuer of that token on another chain. So that's WETH for you, that's WBTC for you, or any of these. And this is the simple custody bridge solution. It's like bank also. It's the most unsecure and also, but still okay. What is more harmful is bridges like which are saying they are decentralized but are very unsecure. They are making trade-offs. Like say, for example, layer zero. And personally, I have been very vocal about it. I think they compromised security way back also, and it doesn't work the way they are saying it works, right? And you saw one thing is not knowing what you are doing. But one thing is, you know what you are doing, but still being very showing a fake bravado around. No, no, we are a great tech and everything. Layer zero really messed that up, right? There is a better technology that exists right now, which is using threshold signatures, chain key threshold signatures, and using MPC, which is right now used by two protocols, and there are a few more, but the bigger one is ICP and Near. And I'm not saying this because I've worked at these two places, but what it does is the chain signs transactions on your behalf. And so ICP has a different model. It has a more secure model where the core validator set only are also functioning as an MPC network, and they are basically signing the threshold signatures. So a Near, it's not at a protocol level. They have made an MPC network on top of it, which is still secure. And that's what gives Near intent. I don't know if you guys have used Near intent or not. You should definitely use, you will love the UX. Like you can go to near.com and check it. Like you will be able to really, doesn't matter where you have USDC or USDT or any coin, you can hold anything anywhere. What also this chain key helps is you can have one wallet, and through that wallet only you can control multiple chains. So the user experience is very different. You don't have to switch chains. You don't have to look for liquidity on different chains, all of this. And how this technology works is the chain has a chain key. It signs transactions on your behalf to other chain and listens to messages based on that. And it's simple way of doing this. I think this industry needs to focus more on this. And this tech was invented by Definity ICP in the first place, and then Near adopted a version of it. There are a few other people who have been working on it, but I think this technology, if done right, eventually what you can have is one single wallet where you can hold all assets. You will never know which chain it is, doesn't matter to you. And you want to send it to somebody, doesn't matter which chain it is, and it goes. Simple UX. Also, what it does is it can hold native assets for you on each chain. So you don't need to hold wrapped assets if it is done right. Of course, the tech products that are currently existing in market partially address that, not fully, but that's about it. So it removes the entire intermediary between everything. And a protocol completely needs to hack. So for this bridge to be hacked, either ICP as a protocol completely needs to be hacked, or Near as a protocol needs to be hacked to do that. And that's a huge lift. And so, yeah, sorry, this was a little longer, but this is where this is.
That was great explanation. I lost you midway though, but yes, it's very necessary to know everything about the models that each layer is holding, each project is giving to this to the blockchain. For Shalini, I really want to know that if the bridges are crypto's biggest weakness today, what becomes the next weakest link once we successfully move to the bridge-less future? What do you think is next that we need to solve?
The next big problem, in my opinion, to solve will be AI agents making payments. Because right now they are the first thing people are doing is deploying. They're giving them some funds and they're going and researching on the web. They are looking at strategies. They're looking at all sorts of ways to extrapolate data, aggregate it, add intelligence to it, and there are users who are actually indeed making a lot of capital there as well. But these agents are also autonomously managing a lot of funds. That could be a major attack vector if there are no security rails to protect that. If they are behaving so autonomously, if they can make that much money, they can also lose that much money. So I think that which is where I think wallets in the future will need to have some control rails with NPC technology and also with addition to some governance layer where the agent will need to get some approvals from a human to move funds, right? Because the agent is then autonomously uh, researching, finding trade strategies, executing them, and also making that money. But the whole thing can also go bad because, as a human, when you see wrong information, you have a filter. You may hesitate to do something. But the beauty of an agent is also it will execute without hesitation. So it can be very good, and it can also cause a lot of losses in funds if there are no so the new economy will need to have some hybrid model where the autonomous nature of AI agents executing and managing your funds need to have some control rails on security as well. So that's my opinion. That could be the next thing, because I know everyone is using AI agents to do all sorts of crazy trading strategies now.
So are you using Claude? You're using Open
It doesn't
Claw?
matter.
Like,
You can
no,
be
no. What
using
is your personal setup?
the setup, like the setup here would be, for example, some form of governance, or it could be some sort of rules that you can put in that what they should not be autonomously moving a lot of funds. Does that make sense? So even if they are executing, there needs to be a human level of approvals that is needed, because an AI agent is efficient because uh, it extrapolates knowledge very quickly and it executes with that swiftness as well. But if there is some form of bad data point it can pick up from the internet, because that is the source from which it is getting the data, that could be a malicious data, and all of a sudden you've lost your funds. So there needs to be somewhere, well, okay, fine, I've given my AI agent a play budget of say $100, go play, it made it 5,000, now it's become 10,000. Now there needs to be somewhere that it should not be able to move those funds without my permission to someone else. So I think those wallets need to have new level of security where humans will give AI agents a lot of autonomy to do their shopping, do trading, do go find me the best pack of noodles in my neighborhood, bring it to me. Now, they and to be honest, how I see the security. Even the hackers have a P&L. They have a roadmap to build on. They are now thinking, oh, what if we plant a lot of malicious information on the internet and then we can extract funds? So I think those would be some interesting economics and models we will see in the future, where AI agents will work for us, but also they need some checks and balances.
You know, I 100% agree with you because let me tell you about the Web 2 days. Maybe Shashi would remember this. That in India, if you have a problem with your Paytm or with your Google Pay, you quickly go online and search for a customer care number, thinking that, oh, maybe they have a customer care number, because that is how our mindset is. If there is a problem with banking, you call the customer care. So you would go online on Google. The first thing that you see is that, okay, Google Pay number or your bank's customer care number. Perhaps you don't even verify the website because you're so kind of pumped, saying that, oh, there's a wrong transaction happened, and you call them up and they say, and there is where the scam begins. Have you seen that, Shashi? Have you noticed it?
Yes,
Right?
yes, yes.
Yeah. So I think exactly what Shalini said, that there will be a lot more, uh, uh, guys setting up these traps for AI agents where they would fall in there. And I don't really know what could be the solution, because scammers have gotten really sophisticated to an extent of where we get video calls in India and even in different parts of the world, saying that you are digitally arrested, you cannot make any transaction, please transfer the money to a secure account, or stuff like that. So I think we as individual users need to just keep getting better, like how we now teach our parents, or our uncles or aunties, saying that, hey, don't scan random QR codes, don't randomly transfer money to somebody. I think that is what we would see. Do you guys agree? Shashi, what's your take on this?
I, See, for me, I think AI agents in general are both in payments, trading, or anything, right? Uh, are going to be very interesting. We have some projects that we are working with who are actually doing where you give the, like what Shalini was suggesting, right? You give the mandate to the AI agent, and you give the like how normally when you trade you put stop losses and all, but here you can give more context, and because it's an agent, it can think through, and it can you can either build your own agent and put your trading strategy there, or you can follow a good agent which is trading to do that. uh, I think uh, two parts that needs to be addressed when trading with agents. One is the identity, and one is the liability. Both are interconnected, where basically imagine this is Shashi's agent. So it should have credentials of Shashi. Think of it as a digital twin of Shashi in a in the cipher space, right? And then you have same with liability. So if my agent screws up, the liability of that should be on the individual, right? So there are people who are working around that. Again, the agent payment again is a very similar to what happens with bridges. So you will see these days a lot of people trying to do agentic payment. Different companies are doing it. Uh, in sometimes when we deal with emerging technology, right? We have to understand emerging technology at its initial stages is not for everybody. It's like a new, like if you are a petro head, you will know that a specific type of engine is not for everybody, right? Because it's still under test and it's still under a lot of things. And taking that too soon to market for masses sometimes can lead to disaster because the product is not completely baked in. So my concern right now when it comes to agentic payments is I see big companies like Stripe and all almost abstracting everything. They are good with running those centralized stuff there, but until now, like you saw, and recently, without naming the company, they accidentally minted $300 million worth of stablecoin out of nowhere, right? So it's like and people think this is another thing in TradeFi world people should know. People think that you don't need these people in crypto who have been losing their hair for 10 years, and you can, oh, it's open source stake, I will take it, fork it, and work it. Like it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. So I think these all these corporate chains that are coming in uh, uh, need to understand this, that when we are dealing with agents, when we are dealing with agentic payments, when we are dealing with stablecoin, right? All of this needs to be done without naming one chain. Um, the price of BTC on that chain 2 days back went to 0.62 cents. I don't know if you guys noticed that. So this is what we are talking
Tell us
about.
more about it. We absolutely missed it.
Yeah, I'm not going to. It's all over the Twitter. That's what I'm saying. And imagine somebody going there and buying like 1,000 BTC for 0.62 cents, right? And then they will say crypto is scam. It's like, let the heart surgeon who has been practicing for 40 years do the open heart surgery, and not the surgeon who has just graduated and come in, right? Like people think again same like with marketing, right? Oh, marketing, now AI is there, everybody is there, we don't need a CMO like Shalini to run the thing. Or same with coding, right? We don't need a CTO because cloud is my CTO. No, it doesn't work like this. One of my project was trying to do that, and for 2 days they're just trying to figure out what's the issue with their server, why is the app not going live, and now they're calling everybody around. So yeah, that's the story.
Great. Yeah. Now, since we are almost like we have another 10 more minutes to kind of, sorry, about 11 more minutes to wrap this up. I want to ask you, for all the people who are watching us from different parts of the world, perhaps not from metro cities or not from cities that are bustling like Bangalore, Dubai, or mainstream city. Shashi, I know about you that you are a boy from Bihar who's gone out to do some incredible stuff, right? Now, Bihar generally is known just for two things. Either, there's a proverb in Bihar, right? That from a house, you either have an IPS officer or a gangster. That's the kind of regular stereotype notion of Bihar. And Shalini, I want to know your journey also. So I will, though I know a bit, but then we'll start with Shalini now. Uh, I know from where you come and to where you were and then where you are. Tell us, how did that aspire to be, and
Yeah,
how?
so my journey is basically completely like I started my journey in India. I did my uh, business training, like MBA, and I was working with ITC hotels. I took a break to study New Zealand to further my business degrees, and then I moved, traveled the world, did digital nomading like 17 years back when maybe like OG digital nomad, where I was working and also traveling the world with my now husband. We did a full year of Southeast Asia, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, you name it. And then we landed in Netherlands. I worked in tech for a very long time. For 7 years, I was working at Honeywell, which is a Fortune 100. I was heading up their marketing communications for the entire EMEA region. I was in between jobs, and my husband's a games developer. So my story is very funny. He's a games developer, and believe you me, every single room in my house has a computer doing something. So I'm getting very frustrated at this point of time. I'm like, what the hell? Like, what are you doing? And I'm thinking the energy bill is going to be very high. Like, because I'm mining. Because I'm mining what? Because I'm mining Ethereum. I'm like, what does that mean? And because I worked in Honeywell for so long, I work with engineers. They're very bad storytellers. They can never explain things, right? So you have to sit down and explain, like, ask them 10 questions. I'm like, okay, you're mining what? Who are you going to sell it to? How much money are you going to make? And it's only when I asked all those questions, I went down the rabbit hole of, understanding about Bitcoin. This is 2017 when all of the ICO rages just started, and I got into space. I invested my first ICO, bought my Bitcoin, started contributing, and my knowledge that I had working with tech and engineers, I think translated very well because I think for tech products, in order for them to mass market, you have to simplify how you communicate because users don't need to know it's IP465. It's a zero knowledge proof. They don't need. They just need to know the benefits. So if you focus more on the benefit ladder, that really works well. So that translated very nicely into me being a brand builder, me being a marketing person, and that's how I got into like. Launched a prediction market platform, stablecoin platform, landed my role as a CMO at Babylon. So that's my journey. Yeah.
Since you spoke about being an OG travel nomad, I just want to bring this to everyone's attention that on 18th of May, we are going to have two Bitcoin OGs come to the live stream. We have Matt, the ex co-founder of Bitcoin.com, and we are going to have this dev called Uncle Rockstar. He's a very cool guy. If you have ever met him in any BTC conference, and if he likes you, he will not give you his visiting card, but he will give you a dollar bill. Like my wallet is lost somewhere in the house. Thanks to my kids, others I would have shown you the dollar bill that actually has his seal. So we are going to have that on the 18th. Shalini, you doing all of this? Tell us that because the state that you come from in India is generally not very progressive, right? How was it like? Because there are a lot of girls also perhaps listening to us, saying that, oh, how, like what did it take for you to actually go out, pursue your MBA, start being a digital nomad? Because see, 17 years ago, the only word that existed was digital separately and nomad separately.
No, no, I can, and mad also separately, right? You cannot be a mad. No, do not be a mad. No, so I think I'm very lucky in that space because, I'm an army brat. My father was in the Indian Navy. So uh, my family is somewhat conservative, but also my parents are very forward thinking, all. They made sure I was always focused. We traveled a lot because of his role. We transferred into multiple locations. So I was born and brought up in Mumbai, then we went to Vizag, then we went to Delhi. So we moved a lot, and that makes you very agile. So when I told my parents that I wanted to further pursue my studies in New Zealand, they were like, "Yeah, sure, just do it." So my parents were extremely supportive. That worked really well for me, and I think that's why I've the support of my family has been tremendous. And I think coming from an army background, being an army brat really helps because yeah, friends change and you adapt to any possibility, any scenario. So it was very easy for me. So I yeah, not a very hard journey.
No, kudos to you and kudos to your family for that. शशि भैया, हमका ये बताओ, आपका जर्नी का है भाई?
Mine has been very simple. I was supposed to
Why
be.
is everyone underplaying their journey? Why, everything very simple.
There's
Shalini was
nothing much.
Shashi, some
Personally,
spice,
because
spice. He's waiting for that spice, spice, spice.
so my journey has been very simple. I was supposed to be a computer engineer. My father wanted me to be a doctor back then, so I ended up in a college called KMC Manipal in south of India. Very good college, but I realized I can't do medicine. All respect to the profession, but I didn't saw myself doing that. So I ran away, went to Delhi University. The father was not very happy, but I went to Delhi University, and we kind of like from there did my graduation. I was in theater. I love theater. I love doing all of that, and then I ended up and I wanted to explore and push after my graduation a bit. So I went for this rural fellowship in India, in the state of Rajasthan, where you really work with UNICEF and on early childhood education for 2 years. And then I came back and did my master's in environmental science, and then I jumped into startup. Did a startup for 5 years. Left it in 2020 when the world was not making sense. Exited that, and it was a tech startup. And then from there, I started management consulting for a year because what I knew running all this startup is how to actually run businesses, especially in tough times. So started management consulting in US and other countries, and it was the perfect time because you can get online jobs, you can get all of this. So helped a couple of companies survive pandemic and thrive, especially people in US. You have this category called DBE, disadvantaged business enterprises. So supported them, basically people with color, veterans, and all of that. So, and then was picked up by Near uh, to look after their education and ecosystem, and rest is you guys already know. So very straightforward story, nothing very the only thing that I have done is, and the only thing that I know is, I all my switches has been not because I need to go to a higher role or something. It has been when I stop learning something, I switch. If I feel I've stopped growing, I switch. I always like to be in a little uncomfortable zone when it comes to learning, and that's how I thrive. So I keep learning new things, and I'm learning all of this on my own. So yeah.
Brilliant. Shashi, I have some newfound respect for you because I always believe that if you're not learning, you're not growing, and any environment, like even when I work with somebody, my main objective is that I need to have respect for them, and the only way I would have respect for them is because I'm very eager to learn. I'm very eager to learn. If you guys have met me on offline also, I'm generally asking a lot of questions. If I'm not having fun, then I'm just asking questions to learn and to understand more. So the last few words on this stream, I think is great. But then just let's end with this: that in 2026, what tokens do you think are going to pop, and what are your favorite tokens?
Just
Let's
one,
bring that up.
one, and I will tell that right now.
Other than Bitcoin, Ethereum, tell me that.
I'm literally telling you that. Zcash, that is private Bitcoin, encrypted Bitcoin. I am a Bitcoin and a Zcash maxi. That's it. Bitcoin, too expensive to buy right now. Zcash is great entry point, and it's got the same properties of Bitcoin, but private. I am very, very, very bullish on it. That's it.
Nice.
That's the only thing I'm
Perfect.
going to buy.
Zcash. Shashi.
My take is a little bit mathematical here, based on the liquidity that I see
Are
coming
you
in the
saying that
market right now.
Shalini's take was not, like with logic?
No, no,
I'm going to
mine
cancel you.
is
Just
no,
only
Salini,
Zcash.
don't do no, no, no,
Maybe
no,
near.
don't do that. Near, yes. So how I see this is I think everything is going to pop out in next 6 months. That's my point that I was trying to make, because the way the liquidity right now is coming to the market, if the war subsides, we are up for a good 6 months nice run from here. Because every time quantitative easing has started in history, Bitcoin in 6 months move, and Bitcoin, why I'm saying this, because Bitcoin and Ethereum drives eventually the entire market up. So Bitcoin has moved to 100% in 6 months, and almost to 600% on an average in 12 months. Quantitative easing started on December 1st. So, so, uh, so due to war, we are not seeing that much liquidity easing right now, but I'm hoping starting June, you will see markets moving very differently. There is still a chance of us going down a bit to like how these liquidities hunting happens in crypto. There can be some candles going down, but after that, we are at least good 4 to 6 months of good runway is there.
I agree with the thesis as well. And yeah,
Yeah.
So Zcash, of course, but all others. So just don't trade meme coins, trade good coins, and you should be good. And don't trade leverage
Yeah,
if you can't
stay
handle
away
it.
from leverage. Very well said by Shashi. I think with with whatever is happening in India, with the Prime Minister going out and saying, work from home, and luckily Dubai and UAE, where Shalini and I live, it's kind of more chilled. Though fuel has gone a bit expensive, but other than that, we still have a ways around, and in fact today's traffic was the one of the most terrible traffics. I don't know why. So I'm guessing Dubai is back, the UAE is back in more ways than one. But thank you everybody for watching us. Tomorrow we are having guys from the Malaysia ecosystem. We are going to have Harpreet and Adele. Harpreet is from Bitcoin Malaysia, and Adele is from OffChain. So
Say
some big.
say hi to Harpreet. Say hi to Harpreet from my
I
side.
will. I will. So yeah, we are having these guys, and thank you guys so much for coming over.
much interesting.
I can't
Thank
hear
you,
you.
Salini. It was lovely talking to you.
Lovely, lovely. We should connect maybe on Telegram.
Yeah,
Yes,
we
I
are
will.
already connected. I will just drop you a message.
Wait. You guys can stay back. I'm ending the live stream so we can talk offline.
Let's do that.
I'm
Yeah.
not in front of all the live guys. So, guys, thank you. Bye bye.